Hello and welcome to another Void XRC video. Thanks for tuning in. Today I thought we'd just do a closer look at the Desert Fox here. Let's just get started with some of the basics. As you can see, it's got a nice aluminum chassis. It's also got an aluminum upper chassis plate, as you can see right here. It's got an all-metal drivetrain. So all the gears are metal, except for the spur gear. That's the one plastic gear this vehicle has. But all the gears in the differential are metal. It's got a metal drive shafts going to the wheels. The drive shaft going down the middle of the vehicle to the front is aluminum. You can just probably just see it in there. It does have some, a decent amount of plastic on it too. Like the front bumper is plastic. All the suspension arms are plastic, as you can see there. And in the rear. The battery tray size is a decent size, but I still opted to cut it open and make it a little bit longer so I could fit some bigger batteries in there. The wheels on this aren't the greatest wheels. I'll show you what I mean. Or just why I personally think they're not the greatest. As you can see on the outside, looks like you've got a decent amount of sidewall there, but when you look on the inside of the tire, you can see there's almost no sidewall to that. So it becomes much more prone to breakage if you run into rocks or whatnot. So I think they could have gone with a little bit better wheels, but those can be replaced, so that's not that big of a deal. So let's get on to things that I have broken. There's only been a few things that I have broken. Actually, I think 3. So one of the first ones was I busted off the wing, and when I did, let me just take this piece off so we can see a little clearer. So when I first broke off the wing, there's just 2 screws that hold this little bracket in, and they just sat in these 2 little plastic bars there. And when that broke, they stripped out those holes, plus they cracked both those bars in half. You can see there it's cracked. And yeah, you can just see there it's cracked too. So I put in longer screws and some little nuts to help hold that in. I would probably suggest doing that from the start, so it wouldn't be so easy to rip the screws out in the first place. I had to modify the wing just slightly so I could get it over the big screw heads that I had. So if you have flat screw heads, I'd use those. So that was one of the first things I broke. The next thing would be I had bent one of the front shock shafts pretty badly doing some big jumps. Luckily I had some spare shock shafts from a Quantum Vandal that were the right length. So I was able to just swap one of those out. And I broke the top cage. See if I can show you where the top cage attaches right here and here. It's just a little nub of plastic, and I completely broke that one off, and I had to drill a little hole in and stick a little piece of metal in and then use some shrink tubing to get it to the right size to fit back in there. So this is a little bit delicate to breakage on here. So that's all I've broken from like the mechanical standpoint. And I did actually blow out the capacitor on a hot day. I was going up a fairly steep long hill, and I had a nice big puff of smoke come out and the capacitor had blown. I still had about a kilometer to walk back to my vehicle, and it still drove fine all the way back, but when I got home I desoldered the old capacitor and put a new one on there, so that was taken care of. So how does this thing really handle? I find it handles like a loose dirt, gravel quite well. It's got a decently long wheelbase, which means it's pretty stable on loose soil and dirt and whatnot. It doesn't handle bigger rocks that well. So like any sort of like a creek setting or anything where you get some bigger rocks in there, it's really not meant for that. But for just like small gravel and loose dirt stuff, it handles that really well, and it's really pretty stable on it. It's great on pavement too. You will flip at high speed if you try to turn too quickly though, as the tires are too grippy on pavement for that. I will insert some videos of it jumping here so you guys can see how well it jumps and whatnot. So as you guys can see, this thing jumps pretty well too. So overall, I quite like this. It's great for bashing, just having a fun time with. It's also great for doing first-person view stuff. You've got a lot of room inside to mount things. You can mount things on the top. As you can see, I've got a little camera mount there. Overall, I quite like the Desert Fox. It's been quite good so far. I haven't had any other issues other than what I've gone over in this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.